Well, welcome back to the Prospect Hut, and hopefully you like this video and hit that subscribe button. In this video, we're going to talk about the Mets' top 30 prospects, a list compiled by SNY. Now, I've not seen 99% of these players. I've seen them little bits and pieces of here and there on SNY when they put the games on, but this is a group of players not seen. So this is SNY has seen these players, and this is their top 30 for 2025. It's the mid-season top 30. And I think this includes also the Mets draft as well. So we're just going to skip the preamble, but we'll get into the scouting reports about these players. 30 guys here. Number one, infielder, center fielder, Jet Williams. After missing most of the 2024 season with a wrist injury, Jet has bounced back to look like himself. As of this writing, he's hitting .278 with an .870 OPS. Double-A Binghamton is the only player in minor league baseball with 25 doubles, 25 plus steals, and 10 plus home runs. The well-bits 5'6" Williams has above-average bat-to-ball skills, plus plate discipline and average, flashing above-average power. He's a plus runner who can make an impact on the base paths and can handle all three up-the-middle positions. Most evaluators, the writer speaks to prefer him at second to center, but Jet's versatility is valuable. He's the type of player you can see being a dynamic, top-of-the-order threat. He will be an everyday player, and he can hit. That's very important to be able to hit. Before the draft, the word was if he was taller, if he was over 6 feet, he would have won a top 5. He went 14th overall in 2022. Number 2 is one of the big success stories of the Mets minor leagues. That's right-handed pitcher Jonah Tong. What more is there to say about him? He has gone from a 7th-round pick with some raw pitch metrics to an ascending prospect to generally one of the best pitching prospects in minor league baseball. In 92 innings as of this writing, Tong is second among minor league pitchers with at least 90 innings pitched in ERA, 1.66. These all minor league pitchers and strikeouts, which is now 157. Strikeout average at that time at 40.6%, and his dirt and whip. His repertoire features a fastball that will sit 93 to 95 and touch 97 with elite carry on it. Generating north of 20 inches of induced vertical break. He has an old school mid-70s 12 to 6 curve, and his new Vulcan change has been an incredible weapon this year. He still is working on finding a consistent tight slider cutter shape, and he will even tell you he needs continued growth of his command. Tong has a chance to be a legitimate number 2 type of starter. He's expected to be in the majors in 26 as well as Jet Williams. Number 3, outfielder Carson Bench. Mets took Bench with the number 19 pick in the 2024 MLB draft as a two-way player out of Oklahoma State. He gave up pitching and has focused exclusively on hitting, and he has had one of the best professional seasons from the class. He's quickly emerged as a consensus top 100 prospect in baseball, and the writer thinks you will see him inside multiple top 50 lists soon. Among all minor league players with at least 350 plate appearances, Bench has of this writing is second in OPS. Specifically, his bat has really taken off once he left the more difficult environment that was Brooklyn for Binghamton. In 25 AA games, he is slashing .370, and he has 1132 OPS. With 4 doubles, a triple, 8 home runs, and a 16 to 14 walk to strikeout ratio. From a tool standpoint, Bench is considered above average across the board offensively, whether that is his hit tool, power tool, or plate discipline. He is a professional hitter with a natural opposite field approach, but he's really shown the ability to turn on the ball at AA. His swing can be a little long, which leads some scouts to wonder if he will be susceptible to velocity, but that has yet to be an issue in Pro Bowl. He was mostly a right field in college, but the Mets have given him plenty of opportunity play center field, and they have been impressed by his growth and reactions in his reads. He's an average to slight above average athlete, so it remains to be seen how he would translate in center field long term, but the Mets will continue to have him grow there. Bench is flying through the system, and the writer expects him to be knocking the door on the big league level at some point in 2026. Very exciting prospect. Right-handed pitcher number 4, Nolan McLean. McLean has been a model consistency this year. After allowing only 4 earned runs in 26 1/3 AA innings, McLean was promoted to AAA Syracuse, where pitchers often find a big adjustment. He hasn't missed a beat. In 14 appearances across 77 two-thirds innings with Syracuse, he has a 3.01 ERA and 83 strikeouts. McClain will throw 5 pitches, headlined by his mid-80s sweeper, which is one of the nastiest pitches in minor league baseball, that has generated 30% whiff rate at AAA. He mixes in 2 fastball shapes and a sinker and a 4-seamer that average above 95 miles per hour and will touch 97. He also has a cutter and a curveball that he can really spin, but only throws 9% of the time. In that sample size, he's generating whiffs at a 49% clip, so he should throw that pitch even more probably. There are a few things for McClain to work on, specifically against left-handed hitting, but the writer thinks he's close to being big league ready. The writer personally would be surprised if he did not see him in Queens in 2025, so we could see him this year. Brandon Sproat. Sproat's fall on this list is a combination of the excellent seasons that the above prospects have had and some levels of inconsistency that Sproat has shown throughout the season. A lot of that can be attributed to his overthinking and trying to outsmart opposing hitters early in the season rather than trusting his stuff. Since the end of June, Sproat has really turned his season around. In 33 innings, he has a 0.55 ERA with 39 strikeouts, and opposing hitters are only hitting 145. He's back to attacking hitters with his fastball that sits in the mid-upper 90s and has touched 100 miles per hour in each of those starts. He also throws a sinker that has helped him generate a 56% ground ball rate in the season. He mixes in 2 breaking balls with a sweeper and a gyro slider, a change that could be a weapon versus lefties, but has some inconsistencies. Much like McClain, the writer thinks Sproat is nearing a big league opportunity. Number 6. First baseman Ryan Clifford. Clifford is still the biggest power threat in the Mets system, around the 60 grade on the 20 to 80 scouting scale. The 21-year-old has taken a step forward in every statistical category in his second year at AA. He is hitting .245 with a .484 slugging percentage, with 17 doubles, 21 home runs, and 70 RBIs, while trimming his strikeout percentage by over 3% from last year. Those 21 homers are tied for 6th in minor league baseball. While the strikeout rate is still a little higher than you'd expect at 26%, Cliff has taken strides in being more aggressive early in counts than he was in 24, when at times it seemed like he was simply trying to work counts. At 25, he's now hunting pitches regardless of count, but has good enough plate discipline to take his walks. Defensively, Clifford will play some right field where he does have a strong throwing arm but lacks in range that will likely keep him as a first baseman at the next level. The regular season promotion to AAA occurring in 25, putting Clifford on the big league radar sometime next year. He has a chance to be a low average, high on base percentage, middle of the order power bat. So 2026. Mets have a lot of players top 5 that are going to be with the Mets next year. Shortstop Elian Pena at number 7. Pena signed with the Mets in January 25 for $5 million, which is the franchise record bonus for an international amateur. Pena started his professional career in the Dominican Summer League by going 0 for 26. Not ideal, but in 34 games since then, Pena is hitting .330 with a .449 on base percentage, .563 slugging percentage. That's an OPS of 1012. With 9 doubles, 5 home runs, 22 RBIs, and 15 stolen bases, got now 20 stolen bases, while posting a strong 25 to 18 walk to strikeout ratio. The 17-year-old comes equipped with a plus bat to ball skills and plate discipline. Advanced knowledge of the strike zone showed up in showcases even before turning professional, as well as in batting practice, where he will refuse to swing at pitches that he deems to be a ball, as to not make a habit out of swinging at pitches outside the strike zone. He has good bat speed and projects to have above average power and a chance to be a 25 home run type of bat down the road as he physically matures. Defensively, most projected he will end up at third, but the Mets will start his career at a position of comfort at shortstop. Pena may have the highest ceiling of any prospect in the Mets system, but he's years away from potentially contributing at the major league level. Expect him with the Mets in 2029. Number 8, and this guy's a high rise. This guy is another guy that was hurt all last year. Third baseman Jacob Reimer. Reimer is a beneficiary of the hitting lab that is the same space as the pitching lab in Port St. Lucie. Now, there isn't the same level of tech related to hitting as there is pitching, but the utilization of force plates as well as mechanical analysis helped develop a new stance for Reimer that has led to a breakout 25. After missing largely all of 24 with a torn hamstring, Reimer has bounced back to hit 267 with 24 doubles, 12 home runs, and 57 RBIs between High A Brooklyn and Double A Binghamton. I would mention he had 3 home runs in a game for Brooklyn early in the season. Reimer has average bat-to-ball skills, but grades above average in raw power as well as plate discipline. Defensively, he has enough arm and good hands at third, enough so that evaluators believe he could stick there with first base. The option, though that would put extra emphasis on the bat. Unlike some of the prospects above that have high ceilings, Reimer makes the list here as more of a floor player who could be a future starting third baseman. Now, from what I've heard from people that work in the Mets organization, the belief is that he could be like an Austin Riley type. That's not me saying that. Someone else. At number 9, outfielder A.J. Ewing. Ewing was a 4th-round compensatory pick in the 23 MLB draft that the Mets received when Jacob deGrom signed with the Texas Rangers. He was likely the writer's biggest oversight in his preseason top 30 list, where he just missed, and he has had a massive 25 season. In 91 games between Low A St. Lucie and High A Brooklyn, Ewing has hitting .318 with an OPS of .864, 18 doubles, 8 triples, 3 home runs, and 56 stolen bases. Ewing is a plus athlete who has transitioned smoothly in center field. Offensively, he thrives with his pitch recognition as well as not swinging and missing. The writer doesn't think home run power will be a big part of his game, though he does have some room to physically mature and show the ability to put the ball and pull the ball with authority at times. Where Ewing could thrive is focusing on a gap-to-gap line drive approach and utilizing his wheels. Ewing is a fun player with room for a little more physical maturation, who should start 26 at the Double A level as a 21-year-old. So he should be with the Mets in 2028. Number 10, Jonathan Santucci. Santucci was the Mets' 2nd-round pick in the 24 MLB draft out of Duke. He was a former two-way player who became a full-time pitcher for the first time in his last year of college. After a slow start to his professional career at 65 innings since May 16th, the lefty has posted 2.08 ERA, and batters have hit 175, and he struck out 77. Santucci has a clean delivery with 2+ pitches with his mid-90s fastball and mid-80s gyro slider. There's some reliever risk as he needs to continue to refine his third pitch and his command, but he's a hard-working kid who people believe will get there. If you put the package together, there's no reason this could be a future number 3 or number 4 type of starter. He's the Mets' best lefty in their system. Next up is, and what do they say for him? He's going to be here. Santucci will be here in 2027. Next up is right-handed pitcher Jack Winninger. He has had a breakout 2025 Double-A with a 2.84 ERA and 101 in the third innings with 113 strikeouts. The 113 strikeouts has him tied with McLean for 11th in all of minor league baseball. He has a tick up in velocity with his fastball now touching 97. His splitter is a swing and miss offering. He also mixes in a 2-seam fastball, curveball, and gyro slider. Profiles like a back-end starter. Okay, could be a reliever. 27. Number 12, Boston Barrow. This is a buy-in on the tools. Barrow hasn't had the best season statistically, though. Over the last 28 days, he's hitting .300. He has above-average bat-to-ball and pitch recognition skills. He still needs to impact the baseball more, but the writer thinks that he's a pure hitter. He is a slightly above-average athlete who has stolen 24 bases and played second, short, and third, with third base likely being his best position to play to his strong throwing arm. He's expected in the major leagues in 2028. Now, this is all projections when these guys are going to be at the major league level. And some of them, unfortunately, are not going to make it to the majors. Some of them are going to get traded. We've seen some of them get traded already. Next up, number 13, outfielder Eli Serrano III. Serrano, in a way, is the opposite of Barrow. He got off to a great start, but has struggled more of late. He had an ankle injury that set him back, He's getting back into the flow of things. He has 17 doubles, 7 home runs, and 73 games for High A Brooklyn. He has good weight and strength to his 6'5" frame that should lead to at least above average power once he leaves the confines of Brooklyn. He also possesses a good plan at the plate. He has played a fair amount of center field and handled himself adequately. Most believe he will profile best in right field, where his plus arm will play. 2027. At number 14, right-handed pitcher Will Watson. Watson was the Mets' 7th round pick in the 2024 MLB draft out of USC. He's made strides in his first professional season working with the Mets' pitching development program, posting a 2.76 ERA. He has a 4-pitch mix with a fastball that will sit 94 to 95 miles per hour and touch 97 miles per hour. He also throws a changeup, gyro slider, and cutter. He will continue to refine his command, but this has early signs of another Mets pitching development win. 2027. Next up is outfielder Nick Morabito. Morabito is the Mets Organizational Player of the Year in 24 and has continued on his trajectory in 25, hitting .284 with 23 doubles, 4 home runs, and 34 stolen bases. His calling card is his athleticism. There's little doubt that he can handle center field at the next level. He has good bat-to-ball skills, but needs to prove the quality of contact. Though he has begun to pepper gaps more this year. It is possible that this is a 4th outfielder profile, but Morabito, the writer says, is a future big leaguer. Again, 27. Next up, catcher, first baseman, outfielder Chris Suaro. First catcher on our list. The Bronx native is the most versatile player in the Mets system. He has spent considerable time at catcher, first, and left this year, where he's hitting .238 with 15 home runs, 59 RBIs, and 27 stolen bases in 85 games between High A Brooklyn and recently AA Binghamton. There may not be a plus tool in his bag, but he's an average across the board with a chance for above average power. He's also from the Bronx, by the way. His versatility will likely carry him to the big leagues, even if it is in a reserve role where he can almost be a bonus player of his versatility, including catching. He'll be in the big leagues in 2027. It's funny, the first group of players, all the guys are going to be in 26, and then the next grouping is going to be here at 27. Number 17, Mitch Voigt, second baseman. Voigt was the Mets' first round pick in the 2025 MLB draft out of Michigan, where he has a breakout season for the Wolverines with a 1140 OPS. The former two-way player began focusing exclusively on hitting in his final year of college, and that would be the path forward with the Mets. Offensively, he has excellent bat speed and in-zone contact rates. His swing is natural, lofting the ball in the air, and he posts above average, at times plus exit velocities. He is a good athlete who thrived at second despite never playing it before this season. The writer will look at him as more of a high floor player rather than a big ceiling. 2027. Next up is number 18, infielder Marco Vargas. Vargas was the headlining return of the David Robinson trade back in 2023. At one time, he was a top 10 prospect in the system, but missed most of last year with a wrist injury, and his 25 has been just solid. He has above average bat to ball and pitch recognition skills, but really does not impact the baseball at all. He's a solid athlete who has played around the infield and has stolen 33 bases. He probably projects more as a backup infield type. If his hit tool carries him through up, he probably projects more as a backup infield type if his hit tool carries him through the upper minors. At number 19, right-handed pitcher Dylan Ross. Ross, a pure reliever, was a 13th round pick in the 2022 MLB draft. But due to Tommy John revision in 23, he did not make his professional debut until September of 2024. He has since flown through the Mets system, making it all the way to AAA in his first pro season. He has a 2.23 ERA in 36 and third innings with a whopping 61 strikeouts. It is a power arsenal with a fastball that will sit in the upper 90s and touch triple digits. His splitter is a plus offering at 90 to 91, and he's generated 61% whiff rate on that pitch. He also has an upper 80s gyro slider that he's thrown 30% of the time and has generated a 75% whiff rate. The writer wouldn't rule out a big league debut in 25, but given the Mets trade deadline, he will lean for 2026. Number 20, infielder Trey Schneider. Schneider was the Mets' 5th round pick in the 2024 MLB draft, where the Mets signed him for an above-average slot of $1.3 million. I'm going to give you the whole details. Although he hasn't put up much by way of stats this year, the Mets are pleased with his advanced plan at the plate and work ethic. He can stand for further physical maturation to impact the ball more. Defensively, he grades out above average, spending most of his time at third base this year. Number 21. And let me just go back for a moment. They say Trey Schneider will be in the majors by 2029. Let's see, number 21. Right-handed pitcher Ryan Lambert. Lambert, another reliever, was drafted in the 8th round of the 24 MLB draft out of Oklahoma. And 37 1/3 innings, split between High A Brooklyn and Double A Binghamton. Lambert has a 1.93 ERA in 37 1/3 innings with 60 strikeouts. He's a vintage power reliever repertoire, with his fastball that sits 95 to 97 and will touch 100 miles per hour with a power mid-upper 80 slider. The right expects him to make his big league debut in 26, when he has a chance to be a high leverage reliever. So that's a late inning guy next year. Number 22, Jonathan Pintaro. We saw Pintaro briefly at the big league level, and we know the story of him being signed out of independent ball just over a year ago. He's converting from starter to reliever, but still manages a 5-pitch mix. A 4-seam fastball up to 97 miles per hour, a cutter, sweeper, changeup, and gyro slider. He likely projects best as a multi-inning relief option. He's already been here. And number 23, and this guy might be the best catching prospect the Mets have. And he's so low on the list because he's so young. Giovanni Rodriguez. Rodriguez had a tough pro debut in 2024, after being the Mets' top international signing in that period. In his second go in the Dominican Summer League, he's hitting .333 with 958 OPS. He's a hit over power profile with an advanced knowledge of the strike zone for an 18-year-old. Defensively, he has grown as a receiver, but his strength is the plus arm. He has thrown out 33% of base runners this year. He should be in the majors in 2030. At number 24, left-handed pitcher Zach Thornton. Thornton has been out since the end of June with an oblique injury, but prior to that, he was having a big year. In 72 2/3 innings between High A Brooklyn and Double A, Thornton posted a 1.98 ERA with 78 strikeouts and a minuscule 11 walks. He won't blow away anyone with pure stuff, but he's pitchability left-hander who can control his whole arsenal. He does both a 4-seam and 2-seam fastball in the 91 to 94 mile per hour range to go with a gyro slider, curveball, and changeup. He has the feel of a future back of the rotation type of starter, which would be a big player development win. He'll be in the majors next year. Catcher Diverson Gutierrez. Gutierrez's best trait is putting the bat on the ball and avoiding the strikeout. In 72 games with Low A St. Lucie, he has almost as many walks as strikeouts. He shows the natural ability to loft the baseball, but he needs to hit it harder more consistently. Defensively, he's an average receiver with above-average arm strength, but suboptimal pop times has led to some stolen base issues early in his career. The 19-year-old has a toolbox, but he is still very raw. 2029. Jeremy Rodriguez. Rodriguez, the prospect the Mets acquired from Arizona for Tommy Pham in 2023. He got off to a hot start with the Mets organization, but 25 has been a struggle. He still is just 19 and excels at avoiding chase and swinging and missing. He needs some more real physical maturation, as he does not impact the baseball much at all. He's an average athlete who can handle both second base and shortstop. His ETA is 2028. At number 27, outfielder Edward Lantigua. Lantigua was the Mets' 2024 Dominican Summer League Player of the Year. He's having a strong first season stateside with the Complex League, hitting .288 with 832 OPS. He is impressed with his plate discipline with more walks than strikeouts. His above-average raw power has shown more in batting practice. The 18-year-old has plenty of room to physically mature and turn that raw power into game power. He's an above-average athlete who plays primarily center field, but has dabbled in the corners. It'll be interesting to see what happens as he continues to physically mature. And now we're up to and he'll be in the majors in 2029. Number 28, Peter Kuzo. Kuzo is the only other 2025 draft pick to cracked this list as a 4th-round pick out of high school in Wisconsin. Mets signed him for $897,000, which is second-round money. He's a projectable 6'5", 205-pounder with broad shoulders and some natural stuff. He is raw as is usual for cold-weather pitchers, but he has a fastball that will touch 97 and a power gyro slider that will get him into the upper 80s. He has a changeup, but it needs work as he didn't really need it in high school. He is a name to watch as we head into 2026. And number 29. And they say he'll be ready in 2030. Number 29 on this list, right-handed pitcher Douglas Orellana. Orellana converted to a full-time reliever this year, and he has dominated the Double-A level with 1.64 ERA in 33 innings, with 46 strikeouts. He struggled in his first taste of Triple-A, but he should be back there soon. It is an extreme over-the-top delivery, with his primary pitch being an mid-uppers 80s tight slider and cutter. He also has a 4-seam fastball that will sit in the mid-90s and a curveball. He will be in the majors, they say, next year. And now we have the last player on this list, and this is a guy that wasn't on any list, but I was with the trades and stuff, everything, and performances being better here and worse there. Right-handed pitcher Jace Hampson. Hampson was the Mets' 18th round pick out of high school in Washington State in 2024. He was a two-way player that is fully moving to pitcher now. He showed a natural ability to throw strikes in his first season for the Complex League, with only 7 walks in 38 innings. He throws both a sinker and 4-seam fastball in the 93-94 mile per hour range, and shows the natural ability to spin a gyro slider and curveball. Mets believe there is more in the tank for Hampson, and he is the name to watch in 2026. And he's a guy that should be in the majors by 2029. I hope you like this long video on the top 30 prospects that SNY has put out there. I've not, like I said, I haven't seen these players, so they're giving you a better rundown than I could ever do. So, thank you for watching this video. Hit the subscribe button.